I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and he said to me, so many women who are wives can accidentally become or be perceived as girlfriends. That really struck a chord with me, and obviously we went into a very long conversation about what are the things that a wife type of woman who is ready to be a wife, who is, built on the inside, can make mistakes that would make a man think, you know what, I think you're going to be side chick and I'm going to go for wife. So I wanted to share that conversation with you today on this video. And this video is entitled, The Kind of Woman a Man Must Absolutely Marry. So I will see you after this. Hello and welcome to the Black Swan Relationship Academy. My name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert, founder of the Black Swan Relationship Academy, and we, my coaches and I, are here to teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, and high worth woman that high quality men find completely irresistible. Now, I know that some of you have been feeling some kind of way with some of my audio videos, and I just want you to know that as the channel grows, you will get some audio videos and you will get some of me sitting here talking to you. I know you love catching up with me. I know you like to see me, and I like to see you. I like to be here. I like to show my face, but I am in the middle of creating something fantastic for the Academy, and it's gonna blow all of our minds and make it possible for you to see me pretty much every day. But it really does require a lot of my time, but I don't want to minimize the quality of content that I put here on this channel. So it's so much easier for me to do audios because I can do it without having to create the big production. I don't have to set up lights. I don't have to set up camera. I don't have to set up makeup. I don't have to do hair, all of that, which takes time in production. But if I do an audio, it's something that I can do research and work on and really be more systematic. But I don't want you to ignore those videos, because those videos are meaty. Those videos are very, very meaty, because when we're here talking to you like this, we're conscious of so many things. We're conscious of the light, we're conscious of our camera, we're conscious, and sometimes that dilutes the message. Sometimes that makes us bubble on or kind of go on tangents. And I know that we love to chit chat, but some people just like the information. So I've done some videos, at least 2 now, that are just audio. I want you to go and watch them because they're meaty, they're substantial, and they're also going to contribute to this conversation that we're having today. So let us begin. For those of you who are new to my channel, do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and of course, comment below, because introduce yourself. I would love to absolutely meet you. All right, so let's get cracking. The kind of woman a man has to marry, and I've got about, I believe I put together 6 points, but if I have more, I'm going to add them to this video. A woman that a man must marry is a woman that understands the gravitas, the importance of her words. A wife is an entity, a spiritual reality that understands certain things that girlfriends don't understand, that understands certain things that average women don't understand. It's not necessarily what she understands about the world or what she understands about men, but it's really about what she understands about herself. A lot of us are loose-lipped. We open our mouth and we go. Okay, we go because it sounds intelligent. Maybe it actually is intelligent. Or we go because we're offended. Or we go because we have something to say. We'll go because we need to be heard. These are all very natural, very feral, very, you can find a woman with zero verbal, with zero communication skills and zero verbal discipline, anywhere in the world, if there's anyone easy to come by, it's a woman who just opens her mouth and talks, right? Who just thinks if she feels it, she can say it. If she feels it, she can say it. If she thinks it, she can say it. This is not the way of a queen, and it's definitely not the way of a black swan for sure. This is not wife material. A queen understands something. A black swan queen understands that she rules and she reigns, and that things move, are shaped and created at the sound of her voice. She understands that her voice is pregnant with destiny and purpose. She understands that her voice is piercing, it is powerful, and it is potent. She understands that she shapes the world with her words. She understands that she raises the young with her words. She understands that she crowns her king with her words. She understands the power and the potency of her words. Therefore, she takes her time to say what's on her mind. She processes her words because she understands that she will not get multiple opportunities to say what she needs to say. This is the energy of a wife. She knows that her words matter. And here's what you need to understand. It's not about, oh, I just have to kowtow and not speak to a man any kind of way. Because I know that sometimes that's how it sounds, and it feels like, what, am I supposed to sit here and just be stupid and let a man talk to me any kind of way? No, it's about being aware of your power. There's a word I love, and it's called meekness. Meekness is really about power under restraint, power under control. The only people who do not control their power are the people that don't realize that they have it. People that are absent from power live and speak any kind of way. But when you have power, you also, and wisdom, you understand that that comes with a responsibility. To whom much is given, much more is required. When we look back into the Garden of Eden, it was the words of Eve that caused Adam to be persuaded to do what God had told him specifically not to do. Eve may not have understood at the time the potency, the power of her words. But as we are now restored to the divine woman through Christ, or through, your own understanding and personal growth, you must understand that the woman's power is indeed in her words, that she is indeed a person who, when she speaks, she must be heard. I want you to understand that knowing, the embracing of that knowledge, the sitting down of that knowledge, the gravitas of that knowledge means that people will naturally, even your king, will approach you with reverence. When we know that we have power and it is latent and we're sitting on a throne of power, and the only reason the world has not exploded is because we are holding power in stasis and in place, because we understand the responsibility of it. We feel different to the world. We move different to the world. And men who are silly, players, jokers, automatically find their way out. I hear men say this to me all the time. I don't have to open my mouth and speak. I don't have to come through like I'm angry. I don't have to say rah, 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 or argue. But I've heard men say, as gentle and as feminine as you are the kind of woman who doesn't tolerate nonsense. Who told them that? Some of them don't even know what I do for a living. Some of them don't even know who I am. But my aura and the way that I carry myself and the way that I ground myself and my words are so important to me that when they come out of my mouth, especially when I'm in a relationship, they have been thought through for a long time. And I have chosen specific wording and specific ways of communicating. I have thought about it, and they come out as thought about. Now, how they are received is none of my business, but how it is delivered, that is my business. Because I know that I am shaping the life, the inner world of this man with my words. I know that I'm shaping the life and the life of my children, my child, with my words. And so I am very careful with the words that I use. I'm not saying that I don't slip. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, that I get it right all the time. But I have come to understand that being a wife, life and being a Black Swan queen and being elite in this world has nothing to do with how much money is in your bank account, but it is more to do with the wisdom and the common sense and the sense in your head. And the following. I hope that made a lot of sense to you. Please leave a comment if they didn't. And if you need to know more, if you want to dive deep into the power of how to talk to a man so he listens, well, lucky for you, I have a course waiting in the academy. All you have to do is go to blackswanrelationshipacademy.com and enroll in the How to Talk to Man masterclass. And of course, you're welcome to join the Black Swan Nation to ask questions or book a call with one of the coaches. Number 2, a Black Swan queen has emotional mastery. This is her ability to process emotions as opposed to repressing emotions or exploding in her emotions. A girlfriend is all about the temporary instant gratification of each moment. She's all about experiencing her emotions in their raw unprocessed form. Emotions are our best friend. Emotional mastery is how we use that best friend resource to come across and to govern and to rule within the world and within the domain that we have been appointed as royal queens. Our emotions cannot be the reason that we react in a particular way. We must learn to process our emotions very, very deeply and be able to segment them and know where this emotion is coming from in this moment. We need to be able to identify that this is a trigger and it has nothing to do with what this person has done. This has just been triggered, but it has been sitting latent as an explosive on the inside of me. Just because you feel something doesn't mean that it is worth reacting or expressing the feeling in this way in this moment. Wisdom tells a queen that her feelings are valid, that her feelings are coming to inform her that there's something wrong in the control center, that her feelings are coming to inform her about her safety, about her comfort, about her desires, about her needs, whether they are met or not. A queen understands that her emotions are here to serve her, but she is not here to serve at their feet. We are not here to serve at the feet of how we feel, but our feelings are here as servants to the queen so that we can have a three-dimensional picture of everything that is going on. It is important that we take all of our feelings and all of our thoughts and rest within the knowledge that we can process them. Now, some of you will be thinking, how do you process them? The first is to acknowledge the actual feeling, not the immediate feeling, but the actual feeling. Often we rush to anger, we rush to upset, we rush to offense, but that's really not the feeling. We're angry and we are offended because somebody has hurt us. We feel hurt, we feel sad, we feel ignored, we feel unloved, and that feeling is way more vulnerable than anger. And as a result of not being able to identify the feeling underneath the apparent feeling that we have trained ourselves to feel, we just resort to anger. Emotional mastery is about the ability to truly see the real truth, the whole truth that is happening inside of your body. What is the truth? And what is the story you are telling yourself to interpret this moment, these words, this activity? What is the story that you brought to this conversation? What is the story you've been creating within this conversation? And what is the story you really want to validate in this conversation? We need to understand that we as humans are coming to the table with so much complexity, so many wounds, so much pain, so much history, and many of us haven't done any real work around them. We have dotted here, dotted there, gone here, gone there, done therapy for a bit, gone to that counselor, we've run around and we tell ourselves, I have done the work. But if you cannot control your emotions, then you are out of control. And there isn't a king or a man that will marry a woman that is out of control. If he is a man that you desire, if he's a man that you want to build a life with, it is because he has created that life through discipline and self-respect. If he can see that you do not operate within the same thing, he will not invite your chaos into his life. At the end of the day, a man is going to marry the woman that he feels will enhance and amplify him as a man. I am not talking about boys in men bodies. I am not talking about juvenile men, and I am certainly not talking about low value men. I am talking about grown men who operate in their sacred manhood and function in their divine masculine energy. These men will not wife a woman who does not display a sense of emotional mastery, who does not know how to be vulnerable in a way that makes her high value and creates connection with him. A woman who does not know how to communicate her emotions in such a way that it triggers his protective instinct rather than his competitive instinct. I've created the Emotional Mastery Masterclass for you. Go right ahead and check it out, because I teach you in that masterclass step by step, point by point, how to manage and master your emotions. The next thing is a Black Swan queen is questioning and curious. The feminine queen does not walk into the room with things to say, things to do, points to make, all of these statements that we're out here making. I'm powerful, I'm successful, I'm rich, I don't need you, She doesn't have time for that, because she already comes inherently aware of her internal self-worth and self-value. She is therefore interested in understanding before she is understood. She wants to deeply understand the conversation, the man in front of her, so that she can make a valuable and valid decision about her journey with him. If you do not question, if you do not come to a conversation with any man that you are dating, seeing, or in a relationship with a curious questioning approach, but rather a statement making approach, then you are going to find that this man is not going to be in any position to see you as a valuable asset to his life. Instead of getting triggered, how about we ask questions? Here is what the Black Swan understands. Just because I don't like what you are saying, just because I do not agree with what you're saying, just because I do not like the person who is saying it, just because I do not approve of the person that is being used to communicate it, does not make what is being said untrue. A Black Swan queen understands that what is true, regardless of how I feel about it, how I think about it, and which side of the argument I sit. She does not consider that, oh, he is talking about my situation and I am in that situation, therefore he is saying this about me. Yes, he is saying that about you, but is it true? When I was in high school, my best friend would always say, hey, if the shoe fits, wear it. We live in a society where the shoe fits, but nobody wants to wear it. And so I want you to consider that it is the difference between queens, wives, girlfriends, and low-value women is that some of us refuse to question, to be curious, to ask more questions, get more understanding, and some just lay back and say, you've just told me about myself and I don't like it and I don't enjoy it, but I would like to thank you for speaking the truth. I want you to try that next time you're talking to a man or when you're on a date and he says something that you deeply disapprove of or disagree with. Can you say to him, tell me more about that? Why do you think that happens? What is your experience about that makes that true for you? Has this happened to you multiple times? I see. Because the truth of the matter is, most people don't care if we agree with them. Most people, all of us, really just care that we are heard, and that we are heard by somebody who genuinely cares. This is the whole essence of connection, and this is the woman that a man will marry, because ultimately he doesn't necessarily want a yes woman. He doesn't want a whatever you do say or do, sir, I will do. Men of quality and status are not looking for a puppet on a string. They really love the idea of a woman with a mind of her own, but they're really concerned about how you air your views in such a way that even if you disagree, you still respect his perspective. And by so doing, he will show you equally the same amount of respect. A Black Swan queen lives a conscious life. I've had this conversation so many times with so many of us because I truly believe that we live in a world that is divided into two types of people. Those that live consciously aware of everything that is going on internally and externally around them. People who question and people who don't fall in line as and when it is required by anybody. These are conscious people. It doesn't make them people who are right. It doesn't make them right about everything, but it means that they do not allow themselves to just be drawn into trends, to be drawn into ideas, philosophies, and ways of thinking that they have not processed consciously and in the awareness. They don't just go because everybody's going. They don't just wear that because everybody's wearing it. They don't just ascribe to that doctrine because everybody does. They live a conscious life. The difference is, and they're people that just live in a trance. The Pied Piper plays his tune and everybody falls in line. This is how women should be. This is what power in women should look like. And those who live in a trance just go right ahead and follow it. No king is trying to marry a commoner. No king is trying to have a conversation that he's had 100 times over with different women, same conversation. Every king wants a woman who can bring something, challenge his thought, give him a new way of thinking. Make him feel like being with you is going to create growth. That does not come when you live in a trance. And I want to say something that some of you have gone way past the dark feminine energy because you don't like the title. You don't like the fact that my face is not on there. You don't like anything. It's not shiny. It's not bright. If you're the sort of person who will not commit to your journey because you don't like the thumbnail, or you don't like the title, or you don't like there isn't enough singing, enough dancing, enough sparkle for you, then you live in a trance. Because the conscious of us are those who pay no attention to what is on the surface but are constantly seeking to look beyond. Welcome to the Breakup course. This is a fantastic opportunity for us to really look into how to break up. You know, we are taught a lot of things and we're taught very few things when it comes to relationship. And I really wish somebody had taught me how to have a breakup, how to fall, how to stop myself from traumatizing my nervous system every single time another person made a decision to walk away or any time that I walked away. Learning how to break up is the #1 skill that every single one of us needs to have, because in order to find love, we have to overcome, we have to endure many losses. In this life, we will get more no's than yeses. We will get more rejections than acceptances. If at any time we are rejected, we fall apart and we forget who we are and we lose our will to keep going, then we will never truly know the meaning of life or love. And so I am absolutely inviting you to take this course and take it very seriously, because it will transform your love life forever. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Breakup Clinic Masterclass. I know people who watch my videos regardless of what it is, what the title is. I know that they believe that perhaps they are avid fans of mine or that they love me deeply. And I believe that too, as I love all of my swans. But I know that these women are conscious queens. I know that they're seeking wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And they understand that the body of my work is going to give them the answer, not a video. You see, those who live in a trance are trying to get lives sorted, relationships sorted through this video, that video, and that video. In order for you to get the most out of any expert anywhere in the world, understand the body of their work. Go through the body of their work so that you understand and have the full picture and operate in depth. This is so important because we live in a world that has bells and whistles and TikTok and 5 seconds and 2 seconds and 1 second videos. I mean, there's going to come a time when there will be milliseconds, because no one can take on information for even the length of this time. If you've got to this part of the video, you have done really well, because many who are in a trance have already heard the sound of the piper and gone off dancing like the rats in the town. But not you. You are still watching, and that tells me that you are on your way to becoming a Black Swan queen if you aren't already. Number 5, you are self-defining. A man is going to be drawn to that rare gem that defines herself. She does not allow him to define her. She does not allow the world to define her. She does not allow her role or her circumstances or her situation to define her. She defines herself by her very essence, by her very being, and she knows who she is, and she carries herself with dignity and honor and respect. This woman refuses to take notes from everybody about who she should be, and she is not afraid to offend by being authentic. She does not seek battles, she does not seek war, but if it comes to her gate, she is bold and brave to stand in her authenticity and say, "This is me. I am a work in progress, but right now I identify as this woman, and I'm okay, and I give you permission to deselect yourself. I give you permission to walk away. I give you permission to go do what you feel is right for you." Last but absolutely not least, I'm actually saved the best for last. Lastly, a queen always invests in herself. A Black Swan queen does not sit here getting upset because they stuck an advert in the middle, or does not get upset when courses are mentioned and resources are mentioned to help her become better. She doesn't get upset because she can't afford them. She makes a plan and she makes it possible because she understands that there is no handbag, no purse, no outfit that will get a ring on your finger. I need you to know that you could spend a fortune on your wardrobe, a fortune on your car, a fortune on your home, but this is not the matrix that a king, a high value masculine man is going to choose you as his wife. It is the woman that you have invested in. It is the growth that you have invested in. It is the constant work that you have done and the way that you move. There is no money wasted when it is spent on becoming better, evolving, and transforming into the version of you that you know you have always been. It took Esther 10 to 12 months to become ready to stand before the king. It is not an easy feat to come from being ignorant and low value and working it out on your own to becoming a true queen. It is a process. It is a valuable process. It is a very expensive process. It requires investment. And it's time that you decided that you are worthy. It is time that you decided that your health and wellness, emotionally, physically, and mentally, is important. No one can make that decision for you. Becoming a high value feminine woman, becoming a Black Swan queen is exactly that. We become through a deliberate and conscious process because guess what? We are conscious. We will not allow ourselves to go into a trance and think, "Oh, I think I've arrived." No, we take the deliberate steps. We check the description box below this video to make sure that there is a resource that is free or otherwise that we can use to get further. We take ourselves from being a passive listener on the Black Swan Relationship Academy and we step into the waters and engross ourselves in what else and how else can I get closer and closer to the truth. I was sharing with a friend of mine the other day that there is certain wisdom I will never dispense on a public platform no matter how much I want to. Because wisdom is given in quarters. There are quarters of wisdom and quarters of closeness, and there are conversations that I will have in the Black Swan Nation that I will never have here. And there are conversations I will have one-to-one with my clients that I will never have in the Black Swan Nation. This is because wisdom has an administration. So I'm inviting you to take a closer walk with myself or any of the coaches, and let's get to that point where you are truly a Black Swan queen. I look forward to seeing you on my next video, but in the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye bye now. Well done for coming to the end of this video. What I want to ask you is, what have you learned? What is your takeaway? And what are you going to start practicing right away? Those 3 things are how you are going to get the best out of every class here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. Please put it in the comments so that we can all have a look. So I can have a look, the coaches can have a look, and I promise you, we read every comment. We may not be able to reply to every comment, but we read all of your comments and we want to see how you are growing. And we will see you on the next video.